I'm 22, currently 8 months pregnant with my first child, my ex, and I have been off and on for about 3 years. He, 24, has been back and forth about being involved, which is his choice. Currently we have been getting along and we're in agreement about what we wanted for our child. Now to his mom, she day one questioned our daughter being his. Since then has said multiple times she will take her and raise her if I don't do it correctly. She also said she wanted our child to call her mommy. I said politely no, that I'm not comfortable with that. She said okay. She brought it up again, my ex told me he addressed it and told her no, it wasn't okay. Then the other day he tells me, just thought you should know his mom, said that she's excited for the baby to be here and that baby will probably call her mom. At this point he obviously isn't making it clear to her that no, our child is not hers, baby will not call her mom. I will have our child 90% of the time, he only wants to see her once a week. That's his choice, fine, it'd be different if mother-in-law was in fact going to be around our child 24/7 raising baby, like mother-in-law's mother raised her kids, then I could understand it. But that's not what's going to happen at all. She's pissed at me for calling her out on it and putting my foot down firmly, but am I the idiot? Am I just being influenced or enraged by my pregnancy hormones? Or is it not okay, especially if I've told her multiple times before no, I'm not comfortable with that. Not the idiot, but be smart. Document every instance like this so in the event that she tries to take the child from you, you have proof with dates that she has been acting like this from the start. As for your ex, it's important to establish some type of custody arrangement. You need a court-ordered custody arrangement to protect yourself and your child. You should also file for child support. It wouldn't be fair to let your ex walk in and out of your child's life as he pleases or his wants change. It's extremely damaging to the child. Also, not having a legally binding custody arrangement could make it easier for his mother to keep the baby for a prolonged period of time that you did not agree to, especially if he lives with her and his name is on the birth certificate. In the USA, for a grandparent to take a kid or establish rights, it has to be in the best interest of the child and there generally has to have an established relationship. If you limit or not allow that relationship and be a good mother, she won't have grounds to stand on in court. The first time she screws up, file a restraining order. It may not go through, but if the grandmother ever tries to get rights through a court, you will have evidence showing her toxic nature. In time, your child will call people what they feel is right. But it's clear that if this woman gets time with the infant, she's going to try to train her to call her mom, etc. At this stage in life, you're responsible for your child's well-being, and that includes their relationships. Plus, if she won't respect your wishes in this one area, what else will she ignore later on? Food allergies? Proper medical care? Using a child's seat? You need to politely but firmly put your foot down, even if it means blocking access until she agrees. Maybe even supervised access only, by you, until you're convinced the child understands the difference between what a mommy is and what a granny is. Also, your ex may be trying his best to get her in line with your wishes and reality, so don't assume he's not making the same effort you are. He seems like a stand-up guy for wanting to be part of his child's life and understanding your concern. To start, I have an older brother who is autistic. He is 10 years older than me, but is completely dependent on the family for care. He can use the bathroom by himself, walk, and communicate basic needs via sign language, as well as just general behaviors we've learned from him over the years, but is nonverbal other than the occasional yelling. Well, this last week my mom texted me and said she was coming to visit, didn't ask, with my sister. I said it's fine because I wanted to see my sister. So Friday evening my mom tells me that she's bringing my older brother, again didn't ask. I was hesitant but said fine. They arrive on Saturday, everything is cool. Sunday, everything is fine, but my brother is slightly agitated all day. And yesterday, Monday, I went to work and came back. Immediately I'm hit with this wall of negative energy and am frustrated by my mom who is being really negative. My brother was getting mad as well, and my mom kept antagonizing him. He was overstimulated, and mom kept saying I'm gonna tickle you and messing with him. Then that night he would not go to sleep. He kept going into the bathroom and throwing things around. He took mine and my boyfriend's toothbrushes and threw them on the floor. I pick them up, but he goes in 20 minutes later and throws them around again as well as towels and toilet paper and stands in the bathroom and yells for a half hour. Again, I'm in an apartment. He's also terrorizing my cat who is cowering in the corner and hissing he keeps trying to bother her. When everyone was up this morning I told my mom I don't want him to come to my place anymore because I had work and I am absolutely exhausted from having to check on him all night and clean after him. She asked me why don't I just hide everything and I told her no, it's my place and I'm not hiding my belongings, which she felt was disrespectful. What really bothered me was that she was up when all of this was going on. She was just playing on her Facebook game. So she was busy and couldn't do anything. So, I feel like she just wanted me to take care of him so she could play on her game in peace. Making me the parent again like I was when I was living with her, and that's not fair. My mom said I'm being insensitive to my brother and shouldn't bar him from coming to my place. Which is where I'm torn and left feeling like the idiot. I love my brother, but he's sometimes too much to handle. And I'm tired of having to be the parent anytime he's around. Not the idiot. Autistic people can be hard to deal with, though this is your place, not your mother's. From what I can tell, your mother is trying to pawn your brother on you to get a break from being a parent to your brother. Which isn't right at all without your okay. Your brother isn't your responsibility, it's your mother's. Also, you need to have a hard conversation here about what's going to happen to your brother after your mom passed or she can't care for him anymore. Again, it isn't your responsibility to care for brother, it could mean what home is he going to or what program to sign up for him. I'd ban her too. She antagonized him to the point where he had a meltdown. All of his behaviors were simply a result of her tormenting someone who clearly wanted her to stop. Him not having the words to verbalize that doesn't make her behavior any less cruel. She caused both her kids immense stress because she thought it was funny. That is not someone you should have in your house or in your life. Your mom should have known that being away from home would trigger him. You do not have to have him at your house if your mom isn't going to care for him. Are there any resources you could point her to that would help? Not your responsibility at all, just trying to think of things that might help. Eventually, she isn't going to be able to be his primary caretaker, and now might be the time to at least start thinking about that. The pandemic plunged my cousin and his family into financial distress. I'm not particularly close with my cousin, but I was urged by various members of my extended family, who I am close to extend my home to my cousin and his family. Why my home? Because my ex-partner left me recently, leaving me to live alone in a home that's sized for a family. Reluctantly, I invited my cousin and his family to move in on a strictly temporary basis. So for the past couple of months I've been sharing my home with my cousin, his wife, and their toddler. Rent-free, I might add. My cat has a specific spot in the house she likes to relax in. She loves that spot for whatever reason. Always has, even as a kitten. Yesterday afternoon my cousin decided to make himself comfortable in that spot, which agitated my cat. So, I politely explained the situation to my cousin and asked him to relocate himself. I didn't see an issue with my request, given that there are plenty of other areas in the house for my cousin to relax in. My cousin somehow took offense to this, construing it as me issuing him an order on the behest of my cat. Which, I guess, if you boil it down, that's exactly what I'm doing. But given that he's living rent-free in my home, I feel entitled to some of my idiosyncrasies. And one such idiosyncrasy is ensuring that my cat is happy. So when my cousin refused my request, I threatened him with you can either move out of that spot or your family can move out of my home. There has been an uneasy silence around the house ever since. Admittedly, I'm still reeling from the breakup, so I'm not in my best frame of mind. I can see how my threat went too far. Especially if you frame the situation as if I am treating him lesser than an animal, as my cousin put it. Though I think that's a somewhat reductive interpretation of what happened. What really led to the threat was that my cousin refused a reasonable request from me when I'm already doing him a huge favor. Also, as far as I am concerned, my cat is as much family to me as he is. Probably more. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You voluntarily invited that cat into your home rather than be coerced into by your relatives, like they did for your cousin and his family. Don't be shocked if your cousin frequently crosses boundaries in the future and acts more and more entitled to your home. Please plan ahead for what you intend in the near future, whether it's selling your house, evicting your cousin, or having a come to Jesus meeting with him. Soft, you are the idiot, but only because it seems like this escalated quickly. The cousin wasn't threatening the cat, and it doesn't sound like the cat was trying to use the chair at the time. It does, however, sound like the cousin has worn out his welcome. If I were you, I'd apologize for being so harsh and say that hey, this has made you realize you are getting stressed by having so many people in your space. You need to set a firm move-out date, if there isn't one already. If a move-out date isn't on the horizon for real reasons, then go ahead and reiterate that there's a few things you don't want to share, like this chair, and make that clear. I suspect your cousin made an honest mistake, because this cat furniture is in fact human-sized. Everyone's the idiot here. You have got to institute an explicit plan with your cousin about rent or a timeframe. There's clearly resentment brewing, and you're both going to make each other miserable if you don't set some explicit boundaries. But I'm saying everyone's the idiot here, because I could see it from the cousin's point of view. He's sitting down and then the homeowner comes over with a really weird flex and threatens to throw his whole family out on the street over the minor comfort of a cat. The situation blows, that altercation blows, and y'all need to figure your crap out as soon as possible. My girlfriend, 25, is almost 4 months pregnant. We tried to be careful with protection, but I guess we screwed up, and here we are. Her and I, 25, decided adoption will be best. We want kids in the future, but we're both working minimum wage jobs, barely making it okay with the bills every month. And we talked about it a lot before we decided it just wouldn't be fair if our baby had to live in horrible conditions because it will get expensive when we could find someone who might be able to. We found this couple through friends of friends, and we're getting to know them pretty well. Seeing what kind of people they are. My family knows we're choosing this route and for the most part supported. My sister, 35, however keeps pushing that we keep the baby. She has 3 kids herself and all she keeps saying is parenthood is hard but it's rewarding. I've told her yeah we get that, we want kids, but in the future with better jobs and us not counting change in our pockets to take the train to work. It's been hard enough accepting the reality that we won't get to raise our first baby together and her constant comments don't make it better. Even when I ask her tell me how we're gonna support a baby she just said she doesn't know, but you'll find a way. I've told her many times to stop talking about it because of everything it does to us, and she's not even being helpful. Today at my mom's she still brings it up again. Just saying she really thinks we're making a mistake and talking about how tough it'll be as a parent, but it'll be worth it. My girlfriend got all upset she went to the bathroom. And I don't know, I just told her to shut up already. Exactly like that. And that I'm sick of her always talking about this. We know everything we're going to miss out on so stop talking already. Wasn't like screaming or anything, but I did raise my voice at her because I was just so frustrated already. We didn't stay long, but yeah my sister does think I was an idiot for having that reaction and she didn't deserve to be told shut up for simply caring about her future niece or nephew. We've never fought like this before, but I really couldn't take it anymore. She won't talk to me, still thinks I was in the wrong. It's hard to see how, but maybe I missed something. Was I an idiot? Not the idiot. You've thought about it thoroughly and made what you feel is the best decision for yourselves and your child. Your sister needs to back off and realize it's not a decision you made lightly. She's that adamant you keep the child. Is she planning to help you out financially? Unless she is, she has no say in anything. As someone who struggled with fertility, thank you. Thank you for doing the best for your child. Thank you for giving someone a chance at parenthood that they may not have had otherwise. And good luck with everything, you're doing an incredible selfless thing. What you are doing for your child is incredibly selfless and brave. I commend you and your girlfriend for doing what you think is best for your child to give them the life you can't. Your sister is an idiot. She has no right to speak on any decision about you and your girlfriend's life, let alone guilt trip you and make you feel awful day after day for doing the most selfless thing a parent can do. She deserved to be told so much more than shut up. You are giving your child and their adoptive parents an amazing gift, and I'm sure you didn't make this decision in haste. As a mother herself, your sister should realize how difficult and painful this choice might be, but understand the importance of prioritizing a child's needs. You have every right to expect support from your sister during a challenge like this, even if it means lashing out, in a pretty mild way, I might add. My sister, 31, asked me, 24, to be her bridesmaid 2 years ago. I said yes. I was actually so happy because we have never been super close with the age gap and all, and I kinda figured she wasn't into me enough to invite me to be part of her wedding. But she did. And so I overlooked some stuff at first, but it's been a really horrible experience and I pulled back totally, which has stirred some drama among my parents and my sister and me. The first thing was my sister asked every bridesmaid but me which color they were most comfortable wearing. For me, she had already decided I would wear yellow, which is not my color, but it's her wedding, and also I complied with whatever, still so happy to be involved. Then I found out she was paying for the others' dresses but mine. I also found out after the fourth dress fitting that they were in a group chat sending pictures of dress inspo for the bridesmaids that I wasn't included in. She never said anything to me, and when I asked about it she told me it was a chat for her and her friends, not an actual wedding chat. We ended up getting the dresses and that's when I learned mine was more expensive than theirs. I asked my sister about it and she said what she thought suited me was more expensive. It was when we went for the first fitting that I decided I was done. It was last weekend and they talked about the bridesmaids weekend they had done with my sister and then she offered to pay for their accessories and hair on the day. I was standing there being excluded and when I did try to say something it was pretty clear none of this included me or would include me. I ended up taking off the dress mid-fitting and walking out. I told my sister via text I wasn't going to be a bridesmaid. I already spent $450 on the dress and I wasn't going to pay more to be in a wedding where I am treated like an outsider. My sister told me I was overreacting and I asked her about the paying for their stuff, but not mine. She told me they're her friends and I'm her sister who she kind of had to include, so of course she's going to pay for theirs. My parents told me walking away like that wasn't right and I acted like a child. They also told my sister it was wrong to treat me like I was less important. Then they offered to pay for my dress and stuff if it was what upset me. I pointed out it wasn't the same. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It sounds like your parents made her ask you and she was going to make sure you weren't included in anything. Part of me wonders if she didn't want to make you miserable until you dropped out on your own and then it wasn't her fault. Either way, it was a terrible thing to do and says a lot about what kind of person your sister is. You were very mature about it, willing to put the past aside and join her wedding, and this all sounds like a slap in the face. She had to include you because you are her sister. And the age gap is not the issue for you not being close. My oldest and youngest are 10 years apart and close as can be. My oldest just took the youngest shopping over the weekend. The issue is that she was jealous when you were born and has been taking it out on you ever since. Don't be a bridesmaid. It's her circus and you don't want to be one of her monkey. It sounds like someone is telling your sister she has to include you. She is more than old enough to understand how to treat people equally and respectfully, and she's choosing not to do that for you. Don't be her bridesmaid and don't back down with your parents. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones forcing the issue.